Hello and welcome to another episode of the vlog. First thing I'm sorting out in this one is something that I've been meaning to do for a while, is I need to fit a new belt onto the RX-7, new auxiliary belt. Now this thing eats belts because, well, to be honest, I don't really know the because. From what I've read around on the internet, it's quite a common problem. These pulleys are really deep V's. And I'm not sure if you can get the original belts anymore. Somebody might correct me in the comments and say, yes, you can buy them from here, and that would be fantastic because I can never find them. So, yeah, what happens is it gradually wears the belt thin, and it gets looser and looser until you end up with it like this, which, as you can see, is completely useless. Yeah, this one's okay. Alternator belt is fine, but the air pump belt always chews through. This is about, well, this is the second one this year, so they don't last long. The problem is that the air pump runs the emission system, and which the air pump pumps air into the what was the cat around here, and that helps with emissions by burning unburnt fuel in the cat. So yeah, what happens is that once the belt starts slipping, or what I found, again, I may be wrong, I'm certainly not a expert, but what I found is that she will start smoking a lot more once this belt slackens. As soon as I put a fresh belt on and tighten it up, obviously the air pump then starts to work properly, which means the emission system is working properly, and she actually smokes a hell of a lot less. So the first sign of the belt wearing is lots of smoke from the exhaust. You always get some smoke with a rotary because it's running on two-stroke, it's pre-mixed. Also, this still has the OMP, which is the oil meter and pump, which means it's actually pumping oil into the cylinders. So that means you do get quite a bit of smoke with an RX-7. So that's just life. So yeah, so hopefully this will solve that sort of problem. I'm hoping very soon this lump is coming out and we've got something special planned. Well, I've already told you, it's going to have Bridgeport 13B, Bridgeport ITBs, yeah, which is going to be special. It's going to sound special, look special, and I'm excited. So that will be coming in the future. So please like and subscribe and hit the notifications button so you can find out when this starts making Bridgeport noises. Then this will be amazing. Also, they'll have lots of other supporting mods as well. Right, I'm blabbing on again, boring you to death. So I'm going to quickly whip this belt on, and I'm hopefully going to get her out because it's a nice day and I want to get some shots of her. Right, see you in a sec. Alright, so the belt's on. Easy enough changeover. I did try and change the adjuster bracket because I bought this one ages ago, which was supposed to replace the alternator bracket, which is obviously there, but it didn't. It's not that one, it's not right, and I've just tried it on there and it's not that one either. So whatever this alternator bracket is for, it's certainly not an RX-7. Well, not this series anyway, so it could be for a different series, I don't know. So that was a little bit annoying, but anyway, we'll just live with the belt problem until the new engine goes in, and then it'll have all fresh stuff, so I won't need to worry about belts anymore. So that's that. Not really sure what I'm going to do now. I need to throw some brake pads into the Subaru because that's the last thing it needs before it goes for MOT. I've got rid of all the sticker residue on it now. It's certainly not clean. Still undecided on what to do with it. Wrap it, paint it, cover up this with some well-placed stickers. I don't know. We'll see. And also I have this, which I showed you. That's going to be a job later on, which I'll come to. So I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. I'm waiting for a customer to turn up who could be here within the next 10 minutes or an hour. So I don't really know what to do. I don't want to start stripping the Subaru down and then I have to move it. So I'm not sure. I'll decide what I'm going to do. Whatever I'm going to do, you're going to see next. See you in a minute. Alright, so as you can tell, it's not the same day anymore. I've had a shave. What happened was, after filming that last little bit, it got nice and busy in the shop. I had some people turning up, I had to do some jobs, so I had to halt working on the cars. I also had to halt filming. Well, I didn't have to halt filming, but I didn't have time. But I did get the pads done on the rear of the Subaru in the end. What an absolute nightmare. They have pins go through that the pads slide on. They were completely rusted, and the actual pads, they were rusted to the pins. So there was no movement in the pads whatsoever. They were a nightmare to get out. I was borderline cutting them out, but with some aggressive techniques, I did manage to get them out and free. Cleaned them all up, put them back in, and now the pads are moving lovely. So that is exactly the reason why we had no brake pedal. And it's the reason why the hydro wasn't locking the rear. So took it for a quick little move around, and it seems the rubbing has stopped from the brakes, so they're free. So I'm hoping the front ones will be hopefully easier, but I hope they're free, because the pistons were free on them, which I was really surprised by for something that's been sat in the field for so long. But yeah, so hopefully the fronts are okay. That was pretty much it. I managed to get the RX-7, obviously had a new belt, and I didn't get a chance to take the seat out of this one because I need to swap, because they're going in the sleeker. So yeah, I didn't get everything I wanted to do on Saturday, but that's fine. So today, I still can't touch the Subaru. So I have this to sort out, which is a brand new Matte Cupra Formentor. This is pre-sale. I don't know if I said to you earlier on in this, so I apologise if I'm going back over, but this is pre-sale, so this is direct from Seat. They unfortunately can't handle the matte paint. Their valeters can't handle the matte paint, and some other brands that I'm not going to mention can't handle the matte paint. They won't touch it. So direction from VAG in Germany is to send them to me via Sonex, from Sonex obviously. So that's why it's here. The first owner of this car is waiting for it, so I need to prepare that today. I need to de-wrap it and prepare the car inside and outside. So a relatively easy job. It's nice working on a new car. We just have to make sure that it looks nice and new, because you guys will know how bad the dealer preparation is. So I actually have time to be able to sort this out properly. So I won't be scratching it. I won't be leaving any marks anywhere. It will be cleaned and it will look like a brand new car. So, which is exactly what it is. So, right. I'm going to get cracking with that. In fact, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea first, and then I'm going to start moving some cars around and start on the Cupra. I'll see you in a sec. so the Cupra's all done. It was supposed to be collected yesterday, but it's still here, which is slightly frustrating because they now have a completely full workshop. It's always full, this place, never no space. But yeah, it's all completed. So as you've seen, we've done a thorough decontamination, dewrapped it, did all the interior, and yeah, just basically prepared it. Used Brilliant Shine Detailer on it because the matte paint, Brilliant Shine Detailer is amazing for matte paint. It leaves, if you've ever used Brilliant Shine Detailer, you know the water behavior and the protection you get. It's exactly the same for matte paint, so this will bead amazing. It just looked nice for the new person when they get it for a few weeks. I did try and get them before, when I first spoke to Seat, trying to get them to ceramic coat them, but they said that they weren't interested in that, you know. They didn't want, because the customer, they didn't want to pay for it, basically, is the short answer. I'm pretty sure the customer will probably like it, but yeah, that was no. So, but I still do put some protection on them because I'm a nice guy. So, and I think if you've got a nice new car, it needs to look like it. So that's why we did it. But that was supposed to go yesterday, and it didn't. So yeah, it's slightly frustrating. But never mind, it happens. The next car is in. I have fully chemically decontaminated this. I just need to clay it and then I can crack on with polishing. This is in for, I think, well, it's either single stage or two stage. I'll have to check the emails to make sure that I got what I'm doing right on it. I think it's two stage because the customers complain that the paint's really soft and it's marking really easy. And it does have some marks around the car. It's only 6 months old, so he wants it looking new again and coated to help stop him marking the paint so easily. So yeah, that's something that we can definitely do. So that's what we're going to do. We also need to do the wheels as well. So yeah, I'm unsure. I'm going to have to look at this up because I know from my experience that some modern cars are really hard to jack. Electric cars are incredibly difficult to jack, and some of them you have to put them in special modes, or some of them you have to have specialist equipment, otherwise you can cause damage by jacking them up. So yeah, joys, and as cars get newer and more technical, it makes our life harder. But yeah, I will Google it and I'll find the solution. It won't be the end of the world because even if I don't risk taking the wheels off, I can still coat them on the car. It's not ideal, but I can still airbrush the barrels and then I can do the faces. Again, it's not ideal, but I don't want to cause any damage to such an expensive car because my insurance company won't like it. And I'm sure, more importantly, the customer won't like it. So yeah. But yeah, so that's today. I need to get on with polishing that, so I'll set up a time lapse when we come to that. Hopefully the Cupra goes, hopefully the sales guys come and collect this, because yeah, it's just sat in my way. And I have these, which is for a BMW 3 Series, and we've been requested to coat the bells because apparently these corrode. Well, not apparently, they do corrode. I mean, most cars corrode. This has some sort of coating on, and the customer just wants them ceramic coated. He's read online that coating them makes them last longer, so requested to see if we can do it, and yeah, of course we can. So gonna ceramic coat them, and the new exhaust tips that he has as well, so need to ceramic coat them for us as well. So that's not a big job, but yeah, few little things to get on with today. So I suppose I'll leave it there and I'll catch you up with everything that happens, and I'm sure you're going to see a time lapse probably now. See you in a sec. Alright, so there's clearly no time lapse, but I'll catch you up with what's been going on anyway. So the Formentor's gone, the Cupra Formentor. Great name for a car, that. I don't know who came up with that. Formentor. So that's gone. It's been collected by Seat. That's gone, and hopefully the new owners pick that up, and I hope they're happy with their nicely cleaned Formentor. So that's gone. So we've now got space in here, and I've been working on the Jag. If you notice, I have the main lights off. The reason why is this color here is not responding very well with too much light. So sometimes with different color cars you can flood the panel with too much light. People think you have to have loads of light and detailing to be able to see all the marks. That's not the case, because if you flood the panel, some colours, it's difficult to say what ones really. It really is, you know, silvers and stuff don't like a flooded panel because they're highly reflective. And this colour here is not liking it at all. It's making it difficult to see holograms, and they're the worst thing we want to leave. It's easy to see swirl marks and scratches, but holograms are difficult to see on this colour. So I've had to turn the main lights off to get the light down in here, so I only have direct light sources. Yeah, hope that makes sense. So we've been cracking on with it, and it's taking a lot longer than I thought. Partly the reason is because of the flooded panels. We obviously turned the lights off, so that's made a difference. It's speeding up the work now because I can actually physically check the results easier now. But the main thing is that the customer said it was really soft paint and it was easy to mark. It turns out that it's not actually soft paint. It's quite hard, to be fair, and it's taking some real effort to correct. I mean, I'm going really heavy on it, and it's still not fully responding, so it's taking a lot longer, so we need to get to the levels of correction that we need. Bear in mind, this is only 6 months old. It has 8,000 miles on it, but I wonder if, as I'm walking around, you guys have picked up any, you know, little flicks and stuff on the camera. Let me see if I can pick something up for you. Again, see, this is a prime example. So you see when you're looking in direct light source, look at this around here. It's flooding it so much that you can barely see anything. That looks, I mean, it's a small screen I'm looking at, but it looks relatively okay. And that's because you can see the rings of light which are just being flooded off of one light. So imagine with the strip lights on and everything, this panel is just so bright that, you know, it really looks good, you know, and it clearly doesn't look good because the customers said it doesn't look good. So, and it doesn't look good because I'm stood here looking at it, but you can just see now how easily that's flooded. Look at how blue that's gone. So yeah, that's the reason why the main lights are off. But I'll give you an indication. There you go. So that, I know these are quite soft. So, but this is on 8,000 miles. So that's soft paint, lots of marring, lots of damage. But the paintwork is, it's not as bad because it's hard. You don't get light marks because the paint's able to, you know, resist light marks. But what it has got is full of really deep marks. Yeah, and there's some real nasty marks on it, and it's taken a while to get it sorted. I don't know if you can see, you know, here. This is on the piano trim, which can be sorted because it's soft. But look at the pebble dash under here. Scratch. I don't know if you can see that one. Scratch here. See it. And now, there you are, that's better. Now, on this angle here, by catching the light like that, you can just see how bad this paint is. So, yeah, that's why it's taking a lot longer than first thought, but hey, that's the job. Sometimes we get jobs which are easy. You know, we've looked at the car, thought it was going to be really hard, turns out it's really easy. Yeah, you have to take the rough with the smooth. So this is one that's, yeah, going to take longer, but yeah, it's got to be done. So just need to crack on really. So just to talk you through, actually, I'm babbling again, but just to talk you through. So basically, I've tried every single combination I can think of to get this solved in the fastest possible way. I even went to Lambswool Ultimate Cut, and even though that gave great cutting, because of the deep, you know, the larger grains in Ultimate Cut, the abrasives, and the extra cutting ability of the wool pad, it was making it hard to remove the holograms and abrasion marks from Ultimate Cut. So that would have needed a 3-step, which is extremely rare. You know, with modern polishes, you know, modern polish technology, especially with Sonax, 3-step is unbelievably rare. So that just shows that this paint is tough. So how, you know, if you think about that, of how tough it is, how marked it is, yeah, that's a problem. So yeah, I tried that. I did 3-stage it, and even then, still, it was not perfect. So I've gone back to red sponge, rotary, and ultimate cut to begin with. And to be fair, I'm sticking with a rotary, and I'm finishing with perfect finish on a green sponge on a rotary. And there is, you know, zero holograms, even from a rotary finishing with, you know, finishing quite aggressively. There's still, you know, there's 0 holograms, which shows that it's hard paint. So you can normally tell with the paint if it's soft or hard, because obviously if you use something like quite harsh, say like a hard cutting pad with a heavy hitting polish, and you polish and then buff away, depending on how bad the abrasion marks or whatever's left behind, that kind of tells you what kind of paint you're dealing with. And this you can polish with a red sponge, which is super hard. If anyone's touched a Sonax red sponge before, it's super hard. I like to call it house brick. Now if you twin that with ultimate cut, which the abrasives are very, very big in it, and you start cutting and buffing away on normal paint, soft paint, medium paint, when you buff away, there's going to be, like, not severe, but there's going to be nasty holograms. You're going to physically see lots of swirl marks that you've introduced from the big abrasives and a heavy pad. Now that's not a problem, because you can just use another step to remove, so that's no issue. On this paint, we can use a red sponge with ultimate cut, polish, remove, and there's barely any holograms or anything left behind, which, immediately says that the paint is resisting, and that means that this is hard. Yeah, so there's always a good test for you if you use a polish, depending on what's left when you remove the residues, will tell you. So yeah, it's been a long day trying to crack on with this. So I'm going to go home because my tea's ready, and I've got this side pretty much done. I don't know if you can see in the light there, like you can see in the dots that it's much better than the other side. So there are still some deeper marks, but unfortunately I have contacted the customer and told him that really high levels of correction are not going to be possible in the time frame, etc. So he's happy. He was not happy with how it looked before, so how it looks now, he's going to be over the moon. So that's the main thing. It's the customer that matters. So yeah, I've just got to sort this side out, which you can see. You can't see as much. Trust me, it looks better in the videos. You only have to look at the black trim to see. So yeah, right, that's it. I'm going to go home. I'm going to stop blabbing because I'm boring you now. I'm going to go home and I'll catch up with you in the morning, and I will set up a time lapse because now we have room, and I'll have time in the morning while I'm having my morning coffee. I'll set up the time lapse and then we'll get cracking. So see you in the morning.